Hey, it's the first hot day of the year of 2023. Just happens to be February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's warm. I'm up in the hills and the wind chill is not having that much of an effect. Maybe it'll get stronger as I go up. Really nice kind of fresh, I don't know how to describe it, but a wood smoke burning smell on my way up the hill here. But it was also really fresh and just wanted to inhale more of it, you know, like an addict or something. This is almost tarp weather, but it's a little bit too windy, I think. And I don't think I can use my mega-sized golden tarp for tarps up a hill like this. Maybe in the woods or something, I don't know. It's very big, and the wind just wants to take anything with that much surface area. So perhaps I need a smaller tarp. Then I can do tarp test 2 up here at some point. I don't know what size I should get though. I think the one I've got is 4.5 by 5 meters, or maybe it's 3.5 by 4 meters. Can't remember. But a 2 by 3 meter. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Is that too big? 3 by 2 meter, or is that too small? And I also want loads of the little lasso things where you can tie ropes on. I just want them to like cover the sheet in all sorts of places, so that even when you fold it, there's like holes for tying and pegging down. It's winter time. Doesn't look like winter, does it? It looks more like spring. And the flowers are coming out. I think they've been fooled into coming out because it's not been as many frosts as there should be in February. But yeah, February marks the end of winter, so 2 or 3 weeks it'll be the end of winter. But this is pretty warm. This is very warm for winter. This day should not exist in the way that it does. Up on the Blackdown Hills. Blackdown Hill, should I say? Or Blackdown. Or just a bit of Gibbet Hill if you want. Yeah, I kind of want to contour and go up the top of Blackdown Hill and then Gibbet Hill. I mean, it's so nice out. It'd be a bit of a waste if I just went back, so yeah. It is Tuesday, which is chores day for me in general. I mean, usually, and especially today. Bloody laundry, vacuuming. Also, the cat has been a bit poopy, so we've had to clean up the poopy cat. And she's a bit stressed, but I think she's having a little sleep now, so she's trying to calm down and relax. And a long shave as well. Sometimes you just have to do a shave where you shave almost everything, so you don't look like Wolverine, so you don't become a big hairy, you know how James Bond always has a huge hairy chest in his sex scenes and stuff. You don't want to become that, or at least I don't. Maybe you do, so continue not shaving. Oh, the wind's picked up. Look at that blue sky, amazing. See the clouds being dragged across here. The wind is whistling, but you'll know when the wind chill has some actual effect because I've got a long sleeve in this bag, so I'll magically be wearing a white top over this. Second can. We're on the wraparound path, Dartmoor Way, West Devon Way, I think the other name for it is. Going around Blackdown Hill. Second can. I'm not going to add to that can. Look, that's a pretty good can. It's a very well done can. I like the geological rock at the top, the stripes. Back on myself now and try and get up Blackdown Hill. So it's February 14th today. It's Valentine's Day. So I do usually celebrate Valentine's Day. It's weird, it's one of the few holidays of the year, officialist things that you're meant to celebrate that I actually do celebrate. Don't really do anything for Easter. I do Christmas, I do a tiny bit of Halloween. a tiny bit of bonfire night, but yeah, none of the other ones in any big way. But I do this one, even though no dice. I think it's probably because the feminists are trying to eradicate the concept of love. They've done a pretty good job in destroying it, demonizing men for women, trying to destroy heterosexual relationships, even though I'm bi. Yeah, so I was thinking today, I was walking up, if there are some people out here today who are, you know, having a romantic adventure day, shall we say. Right, so you actually have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you love them, and you're actually using today just for a kind of adventure date day or something. Get out, go sailing, go climb a mountain, go to the beach, swim in the sea, do something scary, whatever. Then I commend you, and it's good that you're out doing that, even though I do slightly envy you and I'm pretty jealous. But there's actually, I don't think there's much of that around anymore, so preserve it when you see it, especially long-term loyal coupling. It's very important. I thought I was out in the middle of nowhere, away from people, but some horse riders came right by on the track that I'm on. Bloody horse riders! Came out to get away from people. Okay, I don't think there's that many people out today, and that was just a chance happening. Not that it matters, I suppose. There's a lot of tracks on Blackdown Hill, and all those people who complain, like on the mountains in like the Lake District and stuff. Oh my god, there are people out. I see a man like 5 miles away on that distant hill wearing a red jacket. Ah, day ruined. It's like, fuck. How can you, there's so much miles of space out there, like up in the mountains in Wales and Lake District and Peak District in Scotland. How can you be complaining if you see someone out there? Unless it's like, was it Snowdonia gets super touristy and everyone's on the same track, kind of same for Ben Nevis. I guess you're like, you can't really avoid passing a zillion people on those over popular mountains, but tons of other places, just like, why are you complaining? See a tent like a mile away. Oh my god! I must complain. I must go right up to where this tent is, even though it takes me out of my way, and complain to them and tell them to piss off and tell them I'm reporting them. There are people who do this. Oh shit. There are freaking busybody psychopaths out there. Reportaholics. Police state, like teachers' pets, who go around like harassing people who they don't need to harass, who aren't doing anything, who are just living their lives basically and want to be left alone, and are not getting in the way, cannot possibly get in the way. A tent in the middle of a national park, leave it alone, go away from it. Unless you know the person you want to go and hang out, just walk by, go, oh look, and campers enjoying the day like I'm enjoying the day. Just go about your own way. They came back, they had to come back, didn't they? Brushed past me. Okay, whatever, dude. Stalking me with your horses! Horses! You've seen that sketch. What is the show? Is it the Armando Iannucci shows, or is it like Chris Morris, The Day to Day or something? They have a sketch that's like, racist horses! And it's like 3 black dudes on the street, and some policemen on horseback, I think it is, approach them, like thinking they're up to no good, and go, oh, what are you doing, gentlemen? Like, we're not doing anything, we're fine. And then the horse starts talking and goes, you black bastard. And it's like, your horse is racist. What? Your horse can talk? You bastard. Look at you, look at you little monkey. And like they have the horse talking, and the police officer's on top of like, I didn't hear anything, what are you talking about? And the black guy's like, your horse is so racist and bigoted, man. Find that sketch if you can, it's hilarious.
Hello lads, how are you? Fine,
Are you planning to stand around here all day, are you?
I'm waiting for my girlfriend.
Are you selling something?
What? So what's the problem? What have we done?
No problem at all, sir. It's just Commissioner's orders today. No obstructing the public highway.
Bunch of black bastards.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. You big bunch of very black bastards.
That horse just spoke.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. I just heard your horse make a racist remark.
No, it didn't.
What? Prove it, Darky.
You heard that. I know you did. You heard that.
No way.
Your horse just spoke.
You saying our horses are racist?
Well, yeah, definitely. Just spoke. They just
You
made
heard
racist
it.
remarks to us.
We don't do that anymore in the police force. That's all in the past.
What are you going to do about it anyway, you blacks?
Rubber lips.
Excuse me? What?
You're scared of horses, are you? Gypsies?
I'll have you any time.
Is it called a gypsy?
Calm it down.
You call it
Oi, oi,
gypsy?
really?
Come on here, you black puss. Piss off back to Iraq.
Your horse is so confused.
Look at you.
And you should watch all these. Brass Eye, The Day Today, the Armando Iannucci shows, which is a bit hard to spell, or Big Train. Guys are all kind of lefty today, the producers of those shows and the actors, but back in the day they produced this art and it was really good, and they weren't like that back then, as far as I could tell. They were a lot more non-political, although Graham Linehan these days is redeeming himself. I still look forward to his stream with Count Dankula whenever that may happen. See the Great Lakes, the monster stickleback rising up on the horizon. The wind has dried the ground. That's a good thing about coming up to the hills is your garden is all dewy, so you're like, oh, the ground's so wet. Go up on a hill in Dartmoor, the ground is dry because the wind is like blasting it. But wind plus sunshine, everything dries out super quick up on these hills. So all the peat bogs here are just like all brittle and you can step on all of them. Not that there's many actual boggy places up on this one. I'm starting to think those horses are stalking coming back in. They're just like doing back and forth runs, I think. Well, they're walking one direction all the way down here and then running the other direction. Sort of on top of Blackdown Hill right now. So it's a bit higher over there. Somewhere over there. I'll try and find the top of Blackdown Hill. Have I done that before? So there's a measly little terrible can here. Can't hardly even call that a can. Look at it. Sorry state. So let's go up the hill somehow. We've got to find some tracks up there until always point down, and then this will be the sort of summit of the broad lump that isn't Gibbet Hill. It's somewhere up there, I think. Yeah, I think the tracks branch off this way so I can get there. Actually, this might be a useful video for my Western Line videos. I don't know if I did any, hey, I'm on the summit of Blackdown sort of videos. It's always been just walking around here for my Moor rants and stuff, and Gibbet Hill, which has a trig point on it. Coming to a crossroads in this direction, so we're sort of on an angle that's like that. I don't know if you can tell, so we need to get more towards Gibbet now. Is it where the gorse are? I don't know if there's any paths there. No, it's somewhere around here actually. We're near the top. That's downhill. Where I came from is downhill. This is slightly uphill and then it'll be downhill. Yeah, I think that's downhill now. That's uphill. Obviously Gibbet's over there. So maybe it's quite close to Gibbet. Oh damn it. The scent of cow field spreading animal poop has reached me here. What the hell? Come on, it's windy. Take this away from me. Oh my god, this is not as good as the smoke down at the bottom of the hill. If we actually follow this track, because it's downhill towards those gorse now, and it's sort of vaguely downhill that way. The track's kind of on a ridge here, but I think this pit thing here, whatever this is, this might be near the top. Yeah, here we are now, sort of downhill in that direction as well. Downhill, downhill, Downhill. Yeah. Just on the track, right by this weird, kind of like a circular pit thing. I wonder if it used to be a stone circle, or if the gorse is like built, because look, there's a ridge in a circle just here. What's this? Are there rocks buried underneath? Is this in fact, is this a bog pit or is this a stone circle? Firm underfoot, don't think it's a bog pit. Why the ridge of grass or whatever? This is part of the ridge. This looks like maybe the gorse has been planted in the circle or something. Can't work it out. Mossy here. Is this boggy? No, it's not boggy. It's very mossy though, wet moss. There's another set of tracks on the other side of it here. Yeah, it's weird. Definitely a circle, but it's not a stone circle. It's like a gorse growing circle crater. Stand on the other ridge. Yeah, this is just grass and there's tracks to it, but gorse has come up, swings around, and comes down here. Yeah, so that's interesting. This is actually the top of the Black Down 1 hill. And there's nothing here except a weird gorse circle on the side of the track, or between two tracks. Oh well, conquered that one. I've probably been up here before and not noticed it and just walked by. I'm going up to gibbet. The wind chill is the mildest form of wind chill I think you can have, with it just starting to get cold, but I think it's starting to beat me. I got the goosebumps. You can see I got a bit of the goosebumps. So I'm going to shirt up because I am going up on top of gibbet there. House hunting's going a bit rubbishly at the moment. I've had my first house viewings of the year literally the other day, so as you can imagine, a bit of a slow starter. Didn't get to do any in January at all. Essentially no houses available in that month, and then right at the start of February saw a flat and asked for a viewing, and they said, oh sorry, that's been taken. Just like phew. I can't click with that hand. Can I click with this hand? Sometimes. Okay, that's rubbish. I'll probably fuck up your joints if you keep doing those clicking things with your knuckles and hands. And then that would be arthritis tone for you, my dude. But yeah, viewed a couple of flats after that, all in the same place. And yeah, it's just like, what's next, you know, because I just have low hopes for the estate agents. I think the estate agents are choosing who they let through based on who that person is, and I think there's a bit of it's your skin colour or it's your biological sex and things like this, whether you're English or whether you're like, you know, not, shall we say. I think there's other things too, like they do want you to be kind of rich before you start renting a flat. I've seen that in places. There's some places I tried to look for a flat up on the North Devon coast, had a weird rental company or something, and they were saying, we have a bar to entry, we have what do you call it, eligibility rule, which is you can only look for flats with us if you have a huge number of money in the bank, which you shouldn't need for looking for flats, especially small flats like I am, and huge salary number. which is like something you'd get if you were working like 3 jobs above base wage and stuff like that at the same time. It was a huge number, and it's just like, yeah, that's another thing. They want you to be rich before you look for a home because you're basically poor. Idiots. At least I'm seeing less fees these days. There used to be lots of estate agent and client company fees. There was like credit checking fees, which is a complete scam, because sometimes you pay £200 for people to spy on you, learn everything they can about you, look into your bank account, and then turn you down, even though you had way above the money you'd need for the flat. So you just basically have had £200 stolen from you. It's like, what good? I've just paid £200. What goods have I received? What services have I received? The answer is none. It's theft. So that used to be a thing. I'm seeing a lot less of that now. Then the estate agent also had other kind of fees attached to it, which I'm seeing a lot less of now. That's a good thing, because those are such a bar to entry. There's still tons of other bars to entry though. The credit check itself. I think Harmful Opinions would agree with me on this. The whole credit score, credit checking thing is insane. Because a lot of us were told as kids it's a good thing not to get into debt, whereas the whole credit system relies on you purposefully getting into debt and stuff. And there's also a bar to entry trying to get a credit card and trying to get loans, because they won't let you get that unless there's certain conditions, like you've had to be in full-time, long hours work for a whole year or more than a year in order to just start the process of applying for one, things like that. So the whole system is geared against the poor and well, even the lower middle class who are just trying to move out of their parents' homes and begin the process of living away and becoming self-sufficient and independent. There's just enormous blocks in the way in every direction to stop people doing that. And in some places a lot of the blocks are removed for the people the SJWs favour. Like if you have a certain non-English, non-traditional identity thing, it's basically identity politics, then you can get loads of grants and loans and you can get into these places with no checks and things. Just be given homes in some cases, whereas people like me are just struggling to find homes. It's fucked up, man. Let's not talk about it. We're at the top. As I was saying, look at those high altitude clouds whipped around by the wind. It must be a lot windier higher up than this. And we're at the top once again. I just like this one. It's not considered a tour or anything. It's just a hill with a trig point on and various features, but it's easy to get to and it's a nice walk and there's good views and good tracks everywhere, no bogs, so it's just one of my regulars, I guess. Top trick. 300 and something or other meters. Great view, Great Links area, which I've just done a video about, I think. No, I haven't actually. You'll see that soon. I have actually done the script for a Western Line video, which is the tour surrounding Great Links tour. It's not out yet. It'll be released soon, done when it's done, as they say in the games industry. It's the narration script is done. The narration itself not yet recorded. The editing not fully done. So that's coming. It's a good one. It's a good area. All the tours around Great Links tour. You should definitely hike that area if you've never done it before. try and zoom in on chat tour. That's a good thing about this camera with its long zoom. I can actually show you. There's sharp tour in the foreground, but behind it to the left, a tiny little lump, is chat tour, centre frame. That's a little bit of a remote one. It's not too bad out here. Long sleeve solved all the problems. I'm just suffering from cumulative mild wind chill. If there was no wind, it would be I guess a kind of hot day, pretty much. It's weird. It's maybe 13 degrees today, put it that way. It's not up to 17, so not a proper hot day, but without the wind chill would be a warm day. Water in the pool today, a little bit dried up. Not going to say much about news today. The news is absolute chaos as usual. It's just insane, depressing. No one knows where they are when they talk about the news anymore. Just ignore mainstream media, ignore news for the most part. It's propagandistic. I'm not going to say everything's a psyop, everyone's a fed, but there are a fair proportion of those things around. Yeah, freaking spy balloons from China, American government blowing up electrical power plants, American government setting fire to chicken farms, American government blowing up chemical trains to release to places where chickens live in the bread baskets of the country, things like that. All sorts of shit. We're supposedly in a war against Russia, but I do not agree. That's essentially what would be going on if you believed in government. But if the government of the UK thinks that it is on the side of Ukraine in a war against Russia, it is sorely mistaken. But if there is to be a war, and if we are in fact in it, then people like you and me are in a war against our governments. The people, the public of Ukraine are in a war against the Ukrainian government. The public of Russia are in a war against the Russian government. We are in a war against our own government. And all those publics combined should also be in a war against each other's governments on behalf of the publics of those countries. So that's the way it's going to go down if we're brought into a war. You're not going to draft me to fight against Russia and China. Go fuck yourself. Here's a cool play, right? Make sure you're hooked up to people like you who have some central place where they meet, and you meet there regularly. And then if the war supposedly is beginning and you get conscripted, and go along with it. Go along with it for a bit. The government will put a gun in your hand and attach you to a unit, and then at some strategic point run off into the wilderness with that gun and that ammo, and then hook up to your meeting point. And don't go along with what your government expected you to do in a unit of the official army. Just fucking don't. Now you're in a better position, aren't you? Because you're not just evading the draft, you're also fully armed, like you should be, like everyone in the world should be. And you're evading the draft. And if the government comes for you to go, hey, we're going to shoot you as a deserter, at least you're armed, right? was a story idea from a fictional universe I just told, by the way, in Minecraft. Look at these horses, they're everywhere. Så de hoppar ungefär så här. So there's a cairn down here at the bottom. It's not on the hill or anything, it's not high up. Someone's written on a stone. Is this a Valentine's message? 2823. What do you mean 28? 28? 28th month? Oh, 28.1. Ah. I love you, Darry. Love, Tabitha. That's kind of sweet. Oh, there's another one. This should be a Valentine's Day thing, though. There's another one here. Why are they graffitiing the Moor rocks? To me boy, thank you plus making me smite again, teaching me to love and reanimate happiest me ever. Why are they suddenly graffitiing the fucking Moor rocks, though? When it's one, it's kind of cute. When it's two, it's like, oh, are you beginning to make this a thing? And then, like, it's everywhere after this? Like, everyone's gonna start doing it? Bringing a marker out and drawing on all the rocks? At some point, it does start to become defacement of nature. So, don't know how I feel about that. It's just one rock. Maybe you can get rid of it, or it'll rub off or something. Do it in a marker that was it water soluble, so the rain comes down and it washes it off, so it's a temporary message. I'm not going to say leave no trace, but I'm going to say don't litter. I don't like littering. Don't be a fucking vandal. Alright, think through your think through your trace. Because that was obviously leave a trace that was happening just there. But I'm not a collectivist cultist, so I'm not going to say leave no trace like everyone is. And actually, when the camping map changed, I noticed that that was starting to be like a government or landowner or council approved message. Because you go to dartmoor.gov.uk, whatever, where the camping map is, and they're like, oh, you can do all this, you can camp here as long as you adopt a leave no trace methodology. It's like, this used to just be something that random people said in videos, and then it caught on, and then it became a collectivist cult, and now it's become like government authorized stuff. Like, sure, the core message of don't litter and stuff just should be in our minds anyway. Littering is bad. If you drop something on the floor, you can easily take that with you. That's your responsibility. You should never have dropped it. But the whole leave no trace thing, you're getting into dangerous territory with collectivism when you do that sort of stuff. And a lot of people don't even realise they're doing it. They don't notice. They don't really see it for what it is. They see it for some kind of idealism. And it sucks you in and you wield it as a weapon for your identity group, and then it becomes dangerous. And people aren't really aware when things like that happen. A lot of normies, a lot of non-political people are not really aware when they're being played. Just say, I, as an individual person, don't like littering, don't like vandalism, don't like property theft, don't like property violation, or whatever, and then say the reasons why, and then let it be. You know, don't coerce or force other people. Don't create an identity group community thing to join. That's not a good idea. Red tour looking nice today. Wishing you a happy Valentine's Day, folks. If you're with your significant other, oh wow, that sounds quite cold, doesn't it? S-O, significant other. If you're with your partner today, I hope you're out doing stuff, you know, with them. Not focused on the corporate aspect, not focused on buying loads of gifts and chocolates and stuff, but just having a good time and doing stuff, going out, staying in, whatever. To be honest, if you really love your partner, then like almost every day, I won't say every day, but any day of the year can be sort of a Valentine's Day. So yeah, maybe you don't need a certain day to do it, but it's still kind of cute. Celebrate the old ways, celebrate old style 20th century love and coupling if you can. Bring that back, because that was the good way of doing things. What we have now is just a mess. Let's not do things the way we do them now. Let's take the good parts of the old and build on them.
You're scared of horses, are you? Gypsies?
I'll have you anytime.
Your horse is so confused.